Hello students, I am Ambika Raval, English teacher of Chiranjeev Bharati School, Sector M, Ashiana. So students, today we are going to study the fourth chapter of your Beehive book of class 9th English literature, that is A Truly Beautiful Mind. Students, I have already discussed and explained the previous chapters and poem of this book. So if you haven't watched those videos, go in playlist named as class 9 Beehive, and so that you can watch all the videos related to the previous lectures. Okay, so students, A Truly Beautiful Mind. Students, this chapter is about Albert Einstein. I feel students, Albert Einstein, he does not need any introduction. We all know that he was a great scientist. Clear? So, the title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to him only, Albert Einstein, a great scientist. So, students, this is a short biography of his where some of his qualities have been highlighted. Clear? As we know that his interest was in mathematics and physics. But in this chapter, though we already know he was a very great renowned scientist, but apart from that, we will be studying his humanitarian attribute in this chapter. So students, here A Truly Beautiful Mind makes one wonder. It makes you wonder maybe that how can a scientist's mind be beautiful? They can be enough intelligent, but how their mind be beautiful? It is so because students, in this lesson we come across the another aspect of his life, of Einstein's life. And students, he was a humanitarian, and he also advocated world peace, non-violence, and that is why the title refers to him as A Truly Beautiful Mind. So students, this was the introduction about lesson. So I will be discussing the whole chapter text by text along with the difficult words whenever I feel it is necessary. Okay, so students, here I start that Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. So students, Albert Einstein, he was born on 14th March 1879 in the city named Ulm. Ulm city was in Germany, and students, when he was a child, nobody was knowing. Students, destined means when we are not knowing that he is going to be very famous scientist. So destined, as you can say, that the predetermined set of events that has to be happen in the future, because when he takes birth he was not normal. Clear? As you can see in the line, his head seemed to be very large, appeared to be very large. Clear? And his mother also thought that he was a freak. Freak means, students, a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look or think like others. Means a child whose head seemed to be very big. It wasn't like the other children, and he behaves unusual, and sometimes he behaves abnormal also. That is why his mother thought him that he was a freak. Clear? But nobody was knowing that he was going to be a great scientist one day, because there he was like all the other children, but some of his habits were not normal like the other children. Okay, so here I read the next stanza. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. Einstein did not know what to do. With other children and his playmates called him Brother Boring, so the youngster played by himself. Much of the time, he especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, Maza, he said to have said, "Fine, but where are our wheels?" Okay, so students, here when he was 2.5 years old, still students, that time also he wasn't able to talk. As if I talk about the normal child, they start talking. They start talking at the age of means at the say 7 or 8 month in their age, but he wasn't talking, he wasn't start talking when he was 2.5 years half year. And when finally he started learned to speak, and then when he spoke, he uttered everything twice. Means whatever the words he uttered them twice, two times. Clear? So, and he didn't know what to do with other children, as he because of his habit he used to utter all the words twice, and though he was not knowing that how will he play with the other children, and that is why his playmates used to call him brother boring, because he remained to himself, because he doesn't want to play with them, and they used to tease him must be, and that is why he did not play or talk to them. He remained himself, he himself kept on playing. So the here he talks about her sister. Okay, and students, he especially loved mechanical toys. Here students, the love towards the mechanical toys actually inclined and shows his interest towards the physics. Clear? As his mind was very sharp. So here he says that Maza he said to have said, fine, but where are Wilson? Once what happened? His sister was sitting, and there he won't be able to see her legs. So what he said, when he couldn't see her legs, as he was wondering where the baby wheels means where are her legs. So that means the feet of the baby. As Albert Einstein used to play with the toys, and all the toys had a set of wheels, so to him Maza seemed to be a toy too, and so he might have thought that where were her wheels. As you can see his interest towards the mechanical toys. Okay, now we'll move towards the third stanza. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein choose as a profession wouldn't matter, because he'll never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining the skill throughout his life. Okay, what happened in his school life? A headmaster, when he was in school, the headmaster of Einstein school told Einstein father that he would never be successful in whatever profession he choose because of his abnormality. Clear? So he declared himself that he is not going to be successful in any of his profession, no matter what he chooses. So what he does, he started learning violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted to make him learn, and he later became a gifted amateur students, when we do some sort of things for our pleasure, for our personal pleasure, for our pastime. Clear? We do not choose those things or those habits as a profession. So he started playing violin, and though he was a very good violinist, clear, and that he maintained this skill throughout his life, and he was a very good violinist also, but he played that as a hobby, not as a profession. Okay, let's move towards the fourth para. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. Pupil means students. Pupil means student. Though his headmaster declared that he cannot be successful, but he was not a bad pupil. He was a good student. Actually, he was anxious about each and everything. He wants to learn. He wants to know the reason behind that, and that the scientists do. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein a family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. Okay, though Albert Einstein was a very good student and he went to high school in Munich. Okay, as you all are in 9th, in the next year you will be in 10th. So his family had moved from Ulm to Munich. Earlier they were living in Ulm, and when he was 15 months when he was 15 months old, he scored very good marks in almost every subject. Here you can see that what his headmaster declared, but he means at the very young age he scored good marks in almost every subject. That shows that he was a brilliant child, he was a brilliant student. But Einstein, he hated the regimentation, school regimentation. Students, regimentation means a discipline, order or a discipline taken to an extreme where a student cannot feel free. He was feeling suffocated there, he could not breathe freely. So that is why he sometimes he often clashed with his teachers. Sometimes he asks a lot of questions, or he opposed them for their sort of reasons. So that is why he wants to leave that school, and finally at the age of 15 he left that school because he felt so stifled means he was unable to breathe, he was feeling very suffocated. So finally he left the school for good. Students, school for good means left school forever. Let me underline the words also here. School for good means school for good, school forever means he did not join that again. Okay, let's move towards the fifth para. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Okay, so as we know that in Ulm he had left his school forever, and finally their parents moved to the Milan. Okay, and but he means they left their son with with their relative. So actually what happened, his parents had moved to another city, Milan is where Milan is in Italy, but he was left behind in Munich with his relatives. And though after having a lot of discussion, though Albert was knowing that he could not follow the discipline over there, and so he kept on discussing with his family. He had a long discussion with his family and relatives, and finally his parents agreed to put him in a school in Switzerland, and the language used there for communication was German. Though this school was in Switzerland, but the communication language was German, and was more liberal. Liberal means there was more freedom for him, that he can study freely, he can enjoy during the study. Okay, let's discuss about the sixth stanza. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics. That really proves about his invention, as we all know. And after finishing school, he decided to study at the university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young boy with the walrus mustache. Okay, students, as we know that he was very highly gifted in mathematics, and he was exceptionally good in maths and science. But students, once he finished school, he joined university in Zurich for his further study. But students, science was not only thing that appealed to a dashing boy. Dashing boy, though he was a very handsome in his young age, and the walrus mustache. Students, walrus is the shape of a mustache. Clear? So he looks very handsome, like the walrus mustache on his face. So he also felt a special interest. Okay, so let's discuss about the next line. Okay, seventh stanza. He also felt a special interest in fellow students. Mileva Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Einstein saw in her ally against the Philistines those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Okay, students, here the new entry comes in his life. Okay, here you can see the new name, Mileva Marek. Okay, here I am underlining this here. So students, he also felt a special interest in fellow students, means he started liking his fellow student named as Mileva Marek. As she was very clever creature, means she was very clever, sharp, and intelligent. Clear? And students, this young Serb, why we called her? Because she has come from the Serbia, and she has also come there to join university in Zurich, because that time it was one of the university who allows women to get degrees. So that is why she came there. She joined university in Zurich, because that the university which could give degree to the female students. Okay, students. Now, yes. Okay, where we were? Yes, Einstein saw in her ally against a Philistine. Ally students are friend or an associate. As students, we are very much familiar with the intelligence power of the Einstein. Here, the means on the other hand, the Mileva was also very intelligent. But students, Einstein saw her an ally. He finds her, or he finds friends in her, or a partner in her. But Philistine means a word used disapprovingly to talk about a people who do not like art, literature, or music. Because students, that time the people, means rarely people were finding interest in art, literature, or music. And so the society were against the Philistine, and that is why they use this term. So students, those people in his family and the university with whom he was constantly at the odds. So students, to be odd means to be in the opposition of someone, to be against someone. Means in the Einstein family, they were not approving, or they were not finding it good, or they were not allowing Einstein to maintain relation with the Mileva. So Einstein felt that the Mileva was a friend, because she also liked art, literature, or music, and both shared this common interest. And students, in those days, having interest in art, literature, or music was not considered to be good. So those people who were interested in art, literature, or music used to call their opponents Philistines. So Albert Einstein families and many people in the university were not in the favor of this. So against such people, Albert Einstein and Mileva Murich's unity helped them face the situation. So they both try to form a unity so that they can help, or they can be ready to face the situation in the society. Okay, now the couple fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with the tenderness. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on the relativity to a victorious conclusion." So finally, students, Albert Einstein and Mileva fell in love. They exchanged love letters to express their feelings, and most importantly, they used to write such kinds of letters which they used to mix science with their feeling, as they both were science students. At one instance, Einstein wrote that he talked about his scientific invention, and said that he would be very proud on that day when they would finally conclude their paper on the theory of relativity. As we know, that the theory of relativity was invented by the Albert Einstein, and here he asked for the final approval, or he must be proposing her for the marriage. Okay, so let's discuss the 8th stanza. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bonn. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's invention, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in the secret. So students, means as he was in university, he was a graduate also now. at the age of 21 in 1900. Now he was a university graduate but unemployed, though he was looking for some work. So he worked as a teaching assistant, and he also gave private lessons, and finally he secured his job in 1902, and he worked as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Student, what is patent? Patent means a document which gives the right of an invention to an inventor. Clear? That gives a right to an inventor that this invention has been done by you. That is why sometimes we say that the invention has been patented. Okay, so students, and he was also he was also assessing the other people's in the invention, and but privately he was also inventioning his invention, but nobody was knowing. And during the accession he was also inventing, he was also developing his own ideas in a secret, or he also must be framing, or he also must be creating his invention. And so he said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at the work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. So he later on he said that the desk on which he worked was the office of theoretical physics, because students, there only he started working on his invention. That was the first place where he started working on his invention, and nobody was knowing that time that his trainee is going to be the very famous scientist in the world. Okay, so students, we will study the ninth standard. That one of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. As students, you can say absolute means measured in or not in any relation to anything else. Means here you can see that the in 1905 his special theory of relativity was published, and students, where he expresses that the time and distance are not absolute, means they are not in relation to anything. So what happened in the 1905, students, he published his first paper, and what was about, it was about the special theory of relativity. And students, in this publication it was written that the measurement of time and distance is not absolute, it dependent on something else. Clear? So he showed the relation between the time and distance, they are not absolute, but their dependency on something else. And students, he also speaks that according to theory, if there are two clocks and both are moving, they will not show the same time, because one clock will move faster than the other, and as we know that hence this theory proves. So students, okay, so from yes, so from this followed the world's most famous formula which describes the relationship between mass and energy. As we know, students, that E is equal to mc square, where students, we know that in this mathematical equation we know that the E stands for energy, M for mass, and C for the speed of a light in vacuum. Students, what is vacuum? When there is no air. And the speed also 3 lakh kilometer per second. So students, what the theory of relativity tells us, it tells us that, and this theory of relativity gave us the basic formula of physics, where where when we put into, if we try to comprehend this equation in a simpler word. So Einstein also have given example that if you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seemed like 2 minutes. On the other hand, when you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seemed like 2 hours. So students, that is relativity. So a person would feel the timing differently. So 10th stanza, while Einstein was solving the most difficult problem in physics, his private life was unraveling. Students unraveling, starting to fail, where he was focusing all his attention towards his invention, but his personal life was not going perfectly. It started it started getting failed. So, though he was solving the complicated problems in physics, but students, his personal life started becoming problematic for himself, and he started to fail in his personal life. So, and Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. So students, as we all know that they both fell in love, they both like each other so intensely. So Albert Einstein wanted to marry Mileva Markin after he finished his study, but his mother, Pauline Einstein, was against this relationship because she thinks that the Mileva Marik, who was 3 years elder to Albert Einstein, was very old for him. And students, she thinks that she was very intelligent to be a wife. And her mother told Einstein that Mileva was also like a book and was similar to him as Einstein was. So students, his mother was against his marriage. So finally, he cancelled his wedding with Mileva. But students, though they got to marry, so the pair finally married in January 1903. They got married in 1903 and they had 2 sons. But students, actually his mother was right. Clear? But a few years later the marriage faltered. Faltered, student, means became weak. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced. In 1919, Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. As students, we know that the Mileva was also a very ambitious girl. Claire, she was also thinking that now she has become a only housewife. She could not fulfill her career dreams as she was a very intelligent and she was having a sharp mind. So finally, in the year 1999, after the prolonged fighting, prolonged discussion, both of them separated. And students, in the same year, Einstein remarried. Einstein married again his cousin Elsa. Okay, so now let's move towards the 12th stanza. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to the world fame. Now student, the time comes where he started gaining fame. So now here, at the time Einstein married Elsa, another thing coincided. It was Einstein to rise to world fame and he became world famous and everyone acknowledged him as a great scientist because of his theory of relativity. So students, yes. So, in 1915, he had published his General Theory of Relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. The newspaper proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. So students, as it means he was already declared in 1950, where we have studied E is equal to mc square, where he has also told the measurement of the time and speed. Clear? They are not absolute. So in the year 1999, when there was a solar eclipse and which proved that his general theory of relativity was accurate, was correct, and which he had already calculated in the 1915, that year the 1919 there would be solar eclipse, and due to this students, apparent position of the stars would change to some extent, and students, his calculation was completely accurate. So it was announced the Albert Einstein work was a scientific revolution, as this means this was published and this was proclaimed in the newspaper also as a scientific revolution. So we'll move towards the third para. 13th stanza. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. As students, we know the Nobel Prize was based on the will of famous Swedish scientist, a scientist who belongs to Sweden. And students, it was established in 1895. So, and students, first Nobel Prize was given in the 1901. So, Einstein was conferred the Nobel Prize for the physics in the year 1921 for the general theory of the relativity. So, students, okay, yes. He was showered with honors and invitation from all over the world and lauded by the press. And students, he was honored and he was honored and was invited to places all over the world. Even the press praised him, though he was everywhere, everyone was praising about him. And students, but now the situation changes. What happens in 14th stanza? Let's study. When the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein emigrated to the United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. Uproar, students, upset. Many of them had fled for fascism, just as Einstein had. Now they were afraid the Nazis could used an atomic bomb. So students, what is emigrated? Emigrated means, let me underline you for, okay. So students, emigrated, here you need to know emigrated, Nazis, fascism. These are the 3 points which you need to know. So emigrated students leaves one own country in order to settle permanently in another city or another country. So students, what happened in 1993 when everything was going smoothly, running smoothly, but when Germany came under the power of Nazi, students, as we know that Adolf Hitler, he was a famous Nazi ruler at that time. And students, Einstein left Germany and he had to shift to the United States of America because Germany was under control of Nazis. Clear? And students, 5 years later, what happened? The discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin and America physicists is in uproar. And when they were in America, they got to know that after the 5 year, the Germany had invented the nuclear fission in Berlin. Clear? And the American physicists, they were very upset to hear this news. Clear? Because students, the German they already discovered the process of nuclear fission. And students, through this process which the nuclear bombs or the atomic bombs are made. So this process was prepared in Berlin. Students, due to this, all the physicists in America, they were really feared because they were knowing the misuse of that technology, how could it be very harmful, very disastrous for the entire country, because it will not affect only the US or Berlin, it will also affect the nearby territories. So many of them had fled from fascism. Students, what is fascism? Fascism was a dictatorial concept which was started in Europe from Italy by the rule of Benito Mussolini. Means fascism, you can say it was a one-side party dictatorship where means nobody was able to put their point, nobody was allowed to put their point. So it was a one party dictatorship. So students, all the scientists were very afraid that nobody is going to listen their opinion. So most of the scientists, they fled from there, and so that the Nazi could misuse the atomic bomb. They were also afraid. So students, let's discuss about the 15th stanza. At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to American President Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939. Students, as you can see that this is the time of Second World War. Clear? In which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole part together with some of surrounding territory. His word did not fail to have an effect. The American developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese city of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. So what happened, students? One of his colleague requested Einstein to to do him something. So Albert Einstein was requested by a colleague, so he wrote a letter to the President of America. That time Franklin D. Roosevelt was a president, and he also told him the misuse, means the negative aspect of the atomic bomb which was developed by the Germany, and was very powerful, and if one of these bombs exploded on any port, it would not only destroy the area but also it would also destroy the surrounding territory. So this shows students Einstein humanitarian quality. Clear? As he wanted good for the people, he wanted good for the everyone, because he did not flee from there. So he wanted to maintain peace in the world. That is why, students, he wrote this concern to the President of America and warned him. And students, his letter left an impact on the Franklin D. Roosevelt. So 16th. Now, okay, the American developed the atomic bomb. So students, what happened? The American developed the atomic bomb in a secret project. They developed atomic bomb secretly, and students, America dropped it on two cities of Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the German had just developed the atomic bomb, but the America did not give them time to use it on any country, but America did. But student, Albert Einstein was deeply shaken by this devastating situation. So he was deeply shaken by the extent of destruction, because he wanted to maintain peace. So students, let's read about 16th stanza. He was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public missive. So students, missive here, letter, especially long and official. So here he wrote in a detailed manner to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. So students, as he was also, he was witnessing everything. So here he wrote a public missive to the United States. He wrote an official letter to the United Nations organization. As we know that, students, United Nations organization is an organization, the one who takes care of a country. They protect from these kind of words war, or from these kinds of attacks. So he proposed to form a world government, but this letter did not bear any fruit. So it goes in a vain. So students, now what happened? But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms buildup and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. As students, we know that he was very famous. Clear? We know that he was a very famous. So he was using his popularity to maintain the peace and democracy. So for another 10 years, he was involved in world peace, and he was also involved in politics, and his agenda was to stop the countries involved in collecting arms and developing weapons, which the Germany was doing. And he campaigned for world peace and democracy, students, and his main agenda was only to maintain peace and freedom for all the people, for the people of country. Students, so now last stanza, where Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76. He was celebrated as a visionary and a world citizen as much as a scientific genius. Students, visionary means a person who can think about a future in an original and intelligent way. He wasn't thinking about himself only, he thought about the whole world, the entire world. Clear? So he took his last breath in 1955 when he was 16. So, and the whole world, the entire world celebrated him as a visionary, and students, he was a world citizen and a scientific genius too. Clear? So students, this was all about a truly beautiful mind, a short biography of Albert Einstein, a great scientist. So students, if you have any doubt, you can let me know in the comment section. I would be happy to answer all your queries. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I teach you something. So do not forget to like and subscribe this channel. Keep learning, keep studying, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you so much.